guys, so today's video is going to be another haul video. I have been accumulating some products for a month or so at this point, and I'm finally able to share everything with you guys because I think I'm just going to now be placing myself on a no-buy for quite a while. So let's just jump right into it. I don't want to waste too much time. I just wanted to say I did just get my nails done, and I got my Halloween nails. I had to do orange, and I really wanted to do ombre on two nails, like candy corn colors. And then I got bats on this nail, and then like a jack-o'-lantern on this nail, and I'm obsessed. I think they look so cute. So let's jump right into it. So first off, we're going to start off with some products from Sephora. I do have quite a few products in here that I haven't shared with you guys yet. I know I did a massive Sephora haul like a couple months ago, but then I ended up picking up a few more things from Sephora. So we're just going to go ahead and share those with you guys. I actually don't even remember if I shared that product either, but I really just can't keep track anymore because like sometimes it'll be like a month or two now by the time I'm able to film hauls again, and then sometimes I forget what I've gotten. So if I talk about it more than once, it is what it is, but I can't keep track of absolutely everything. But I'm pretty sure most of this stuff I have not talked about yet. So I actually have not hauled this concealer yet, which is kind of crazy because this is the last concealer that I've picked up more recently. Like this is the newest concealer that I've picked up because there was a whole bunch of concealers coming out in like early September. And I think you guys knew I was going to get this. I've already mentioned it in a couple of favorites videos, and I've used it on camera a couple times. And this is the House Labs by Lady Gaga Triclone Skin Tech Concealer in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. Now, I knew I was going to get this concealer. I mean, I was so in love with the foundation that I knew I wanted to try the concealer. So as soon as this hit stores in Sephora, I went literally that day and picked it up. And then I also ended up picking up a couple of other things that day as well. But this is what the packaging looks like. And then the applicator is a very nice, smooth, easy to apply kind of applicator. And this concealer honestly has the probably most unique formula that I've ever tried out of all the concealers that I own. It has such a gel-like consistency. It's almost a little bit cooling when you apply it because it feels like a cooling gel, but it has such beautiful coverage and it blends out so easily. I am so obsessed with this concealer. I really have been quite impressed with the past 3 concealers that I've tried. I love this one. I really love the Tower 28 one. And I also really like the Makeup by Mario one. So honestly, the past couple of concealers I've tried, I really have been loving. And I have been using this constantly. I think I used it at least 3 days in a row when I first got it because I could not put it down. I think it's a fantastic concealer. And a lot of people have been loving this concealer as well for good reason because it's amazing. So that is the first product. Absolutely love it. And then I decided to pick up this foundation in store on that same day. Even though I had picked up the Lancome foundation during their foundation event like a couple of weeks before that, I kept on looking at this foundation quite a few times like when I went in there. And I was like, you know what? I am really curious about trying it because I ended up returning the Fenty Beauty Easy skin tint stick because that just did not work for my skin whatsoever. I really did not like that foundation at all. So I decided to get the Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation, and this one's in the shade Very Light 1. I was kind of curious about trying a couple of Glossier products because they did hit my Sephora, I think, early last month. So this is the Glossier Foundation. They weren't really a brand I was too interested in before because mostly they have like very light, everyday, easy, skin-friendly products like for a no makeup wearer. But then they came out with this foundation and I was so intrigued on trying it. I also really love the packaging, and the shade is really, really good for me. This is probably the most matte kind of foundation that I have in my collection, but it's not really drying whatsoever. And this has some coverage, y'all, okay? Like, it claims that it's light to medium coverage, but I honestly would say that this is a medium to full, because even when I only do like maybe even less than 2 pumps, I usually do 2 pumps of it, but honestly I probably would only really need a pump and a half, and it is really beautiful coverage. It spreads out so easily, and I find that it just looks so good on my skin for hours, and I really have been enjoying this. I've been using this quite a lot. I try to use it at least once a week, so I think I've used it like maybe over 8 times at this point, and I think that it's a fabulous foundation, so I really have been loving this one. I still love the Makeup Forever one too, but this one has been a really good option for when I want to wear my makeup for a longer day. Like, I actually wore this to medieval times, and it looked really good by the end of the day. Like, my skin didn't look perfect, but it still held up. Honestly, I've been using this and also my Lancome Taint Idol foundation, and those have been pretty trusty dusties for me for days that I want to wear my foundation for a long period of time, like for Comic-Con, medieval times, and this really has been doing really well for me. I think I just used this too like last week for work, and it still looked great, so I really have been loving that foundation as well. Okay, and then the next product, I think I also picked this up on the same day as well. I've always been wanting to try this mascara from Lancome, but it was actually 30% off. Lancome's mascaras are like as expensive as like Valentino and Gucci mascaras. They're like $35. So usually when I pick up a Lancome mascara, like one of my all-time favorites used to be the which one is it? The Monsieur Big. The Monsieur Big mascara. I would only pick that up during like Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, because they usually would always put that on half price. But this was 30% off, so I decided to pick up the Lancome Hypnose mascara, and this is the Volume Intense mascara in the shade Excessive Black, of course. And this is what the mascara looks like. It's a pretty cool wand. Honestly, I think that the packaging is a little big, but it's very lightweight, so it's not bulky. It's just like a long tube. And then this is what the wand looks like. Now, I'm not absolutely in love with this mascara. I think it's okay, but I will use it and probably use it until it dries out. But I don't think it's like the best mascara of all time. I could take it or leave it. But I'm glad I got the 30% off of it, so at least I got somewhat of a discount on it, because again, it's like a $35 mascara. So I picked this up. I'm not over the moon about it. Like, I really love the Gwen Stefani mascara still, and the Valentino mascara quite a lot more than this one, but it's still a good one. I just use it for everyday use. I don't really use it for when I want to wear my makeup for like a long period of time, or if I want to make my lashes longer. It's just okay. Okay, so then the next product I picked up that day as well. I think this might have been 2 separate trips, but I actually picked up this lip oil from Saie. So this is the Saie Glossy Bounce Hydrating Lip Oil. Oh my god, and this is in the shade Push. I have been absolutely loving lip oils the past couple of months, and I've just been wanting to try way more lip oils lately. So this is the Saie Glossy Bounce Lip Oil in the shade Push, and this is a really, really nice everyday neutral color, and honestly, it's not as pigmented like that when you put it on your lips. It has some pigment to it, so it actually doesn't just show up clear. Like, these are actually pigmented lip oils, and it feels just so nice on the lips, and it just adds like such a pretty shine. I honestly could have just popped it over my lipstick today, and it just gives me like the nicest, like, tiniest amount of, like, shine to my lips. And I've worn this quite a few times. I wore this, like, when it was still warmer outside. Like, most of September, I was reaching for this quite a lot. And do you see how it just gives me such a nice shine to the lips? And it's just really lightweight, very comfortable. I highly recommend these if you are looking for a good lip oil from Sephora. These are fantastic. I really have been loving these. So I really have just been trying to get into more Saie products, and all the products that I've tried from Saie so far are really, really good. So if you were curious about Saie, I would say try Saie, but seriously, like, their products are really good. So that is the lip oil that I got. I'm trying to move around some products because, you know, we never have any room on this desk. Okay, and then I did end up picking up yet another cream blush because I'm a psychopath, but I really kept on eyeing this as well in Sephora, and I'm like, Caitlin, just fucking buy it. Like, you're just gonna end up buying it anyway. And also, since I'm sharing these products in this video from Sephora, I don't think I'm going to be shopping the Sephora sale this year. I literally got everything I could possibly want with these products, and with the massive Sephora haul that I posted back in August, I don't need anything from Sephora right now. There's honestly not anything that I am remotely interested in getting right now. Besides the Melt highlighter, I might get it, but honestly, Melt is so damn expensive now. Those Nightmare Before Christmas highlighters are $42. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to spend that. I'd rather just get a haircut because my hair is just getting too long for me right now. I need to go get a haircut probably next week. So I decided to get the cream blush from Rose Inc. And this is my very first Rose Inc. product. So this is the Blush Divine Radiant Lip and Cheek color in the shade Delphine. And this is her most popular color, I believe. And this is what the packaging looks like. It has the shade name on the back, but this is what the front looks like. Her logo's right on top here, and then this is what the shade looks like. I've been using this quite a lot. I've used it a couple of times. This has such a nice cream formula. It's almost like a cream to powder, and it's just really easy to use. It goes over powder quite easily, and it's just such a nice everyday, regular, schmegular peach shade. Y'all know I love these kind of blush shades. And it's just been a really, really nice formula. I'm still, like, testing out all the cream blushes I own to assess which ones I love the most. I already know what my top 3 are, but this one is a good one. So I would say if you are interested in Rose Inc., and if you're interested in the cream blushes, I think they're really nice. This is still the only product I've tried from them. Maybe I'll pick up more in the future. But again, I don't need anything right now. I really just want to take a break from makeup because I just have way too much stuff at this point. And I've just been enjoying the new products that I have and just the products in my collection. So I really just don't need anything else. Okay, so 2 more products from Sephora, and then we'll jump into the rest. So the last 2 products I have are both lip products. So the first one is from Glossier as well, and I was interested in trying these as well. So this is the Glossier Soft Touch Lip Cream in the shade Curve. Soft Touch Lip Cream in the shade Curve. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Let me just open this up without damaging my nails, because for some reason, some of these brands just make the packaging so hard to open. So this is what it looks like. I really, really like the sleek white packaging. It looks very clean. And then this is what the shade looks like. And of course, I had to pick up the terracotta peach one. Duh. And this is just such a pretty orangey peach shade. It goes on the lips so smoothly, and it is so comfortable to wear. It's not the most long-lasting thing, but once you reapply it, it reapplies beautifully. It stays on the lips most of the day. Honestly, it doesn't really wear off that much. So I don't really mind reapplying it after I eat. And I really like it. It's super lightweight and feels literally like a lip cloud on the lips. So I really have been loving that as well. Okay, let's put away some of the Sephora stuff so we can get that out of the way. And then the last product that I got from Sephora, which honestly, I don't know why I bought this because it's literally clear. Like, I already have my Omicole lip oil that I use every single day to prep my lips. But after I used up that one, I'll just start using this one. So this is the Kaja Juicy Glass Instant Hydrating and Plumping Lip Oil in the shade Rose Hip Spritz. And now when I say it says plumping, it's really a very light sensation. It is a little bit stronger than, I don't even know what just fell. It is a little bit stronger. First off, the packaging is so freaking cute. I love the little ball on top, and it's like a little wide, but I like that it's really tiny, that you can just like throw it in your bag. But I would say that it does have a plumping sensation, but it's very comfortable. It's just cooling. It's not like stinging. And it is a very nice glossy lip oil. Like kind of similar almost to the formula of the Milk Makeup lip oils, but I think I prefer the Milk lip oil and the Say lip oil over this one, but this one's still a nice one. I've just been wearing it on days where I just don't feel like wearing lipstick. I'll just throw this on and it's just super easy to wear. And yeah, but at the same time, I thought it would have like a little bit of like a pink hint to it, but it does not whatsoever. So I just wanted to say that. So yeah, that is everything that I got from Sephora. Now let's move on to Colourpop / Ulta. So I did pick up a couple things from Ulta, and then actually I picked up 4 things from Ulta, and I just ordered 3 things from the website. So let's go through the Ulta stuff first. So the first product that I got is I picked up this eyeshadow palette right after I returned the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, because that palette was just not for me. It was not it. I just did not like it. I just kept on getting so bored with the looks that I was doing. Like, I understand people love repetitive neutral looks, and it's not like I don't do the same look from a neutral palette like a few times. If I love the look, I'm going to try and do it again sometimes when I get around to using that palette again. But I was just getting so bored because there was just so much like lack of depth in that palette that I just really was getting bored with the mattes, trying to build up the mattes, trying to build up depth and dimension. I was like, this palette is just not for me. So I ended up returning it, and I think I used that to exchange it for some of the other products that I mentioned. I think I got the Glossier Foundation and the Lip Cloud, or maybe like some other 2 other products. I don't really remember. But then I ended up using those products way more. So it's just the Natasha Denona palette just ended up being a waste of my money for me. So I returned it, and I will talk about the other palette in just a minute. That is literally its dupe, and I love it so much more. So the first palette that I got from Colourpop was the Colourpop Rock On 9-pan eyeshadow palette. For some reason, I kept on eyeing this palette in Ulta, and I was like, this palette is such a cute, easy, warm tone eyeshadow palette for me. And you guys know I love my warm tones, and I just thought this palette was so pretty. And the quality of this one is really, really good. The shimmers in here are super sparkly, super beautiful on the lids, and the mattes just blend super easily. Very pigmented. I really have been loving this palette. I've used this palette quite a bit. I've used every single shade, and I can say I really do like it. So we have 4 shimmers and 5 mattes in here. So we have, and this palette has more depth in it, only having 5 shades. Like, we got these 3 shades to build up some depth. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that this palette can be repetitive, but I prefer warm tones over cool tones. The Natasha Denona palette just was not for me. I much prefer the My Dream palette. I love the My Dream palette so much. But when it comes to like repetitive monochromatic eyeshadow palettes, this still has enough depth and dimension for me that I'm not going to get bored with it. So I hope that makes sense. So first we have Vortex, Chasing Sunsets, and Road Trippin'. I could have worn this palette today too. Then we have Rock My World, Sedona, and Fave Hike. And then we have Red Rocks, Summer Heat, and Trail Mix. And these all swatch beautifully. Very, very pigmented. The shimmer shades are very super creamy and very pigmented. The mattes feel a little bit dry, but they're super pigmented on the eyes. So let's do a couple of swatches for you guys. So there are 3 of the shades. So we have Red Rocks, Summer Heat, and Sedona. So that's what they look like. Just a warm tone eyeshadow palette dream. You guys know I love them, and they're just super easy to work with. I don't really have much to say about Colourpop because you guys know I love their formula, and I just think that they end up improving the formula with every palette that they come out with at this point. I really have not tried a bad Colourpop palette in quite a while. I think that basically all the Colourpop palettes that have come out this year, quality-wise, have been really great. I just might not absolutely love some of the color stories, but the quality of the shadows have been really great. Maybe the only ones that really weren't that great were the ones in the Alice in Wonderland palette. Like the really light matte shades were like pretty powdery, but they still built up. So I really love this palette. I will continue to use it, and I would like to use it even more so throughout the fall. I think that this is a great summer to fall palette. Like, I really love when they come out with like these more transitional kind of seasonal palettes. Like the Lust for Dusk palette I thought was a great seasonal palette. So that's the first palette that I got. And then I also picked up 2 products from Ulta from the Sailor Moon collection, because for some reason they decided to do a round 2 with Sailor Moon, and obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but I just don't really see the point of it because the colors were quite repetitive of the first collection. Like the second palette is different to the first one, and they're kind of like companion palettes, and they probably made it to, you know, go with the first one because a lot of people picked up the first collection. That collection did sell out multiple times, but I just don't think they're as popular anymore, and this collection did not really sell out right away. I don't think any of the products really sold out right away, but I decided to pick up the highlighter and one of the lip duos. So the highlighter is the Pretty Guardians Sailor Moon Pressed Powder Highlighter in the shade Moonlight. Now, packaging is really cute, as usual. I love that the cat is on the back and the front, and then this is what the packaging looks like. Really, really cute with like the reflective holographic bubbles. And then this is what the shade looks like. So I've only used this actually once. I'm going to try and use it again a bit more. But this is honestly like the first Colourpop highlighter that is almost like kind of dull for me. Like, it's not really that reflective. It doesn't really build up that much. Like, it provides like a slight shine. But honestly, it's not really anything that special. Like, I've only used it once, and I felt like I had to put another, like my Blend Bunny highlighters over it, like one shade from that, just to get a little bit more intensity, when I usually don't have to do that with all my other Colourpop highlighters that I own. I think that I get enough of a shine from them. I've always really, really liked Colourpop's highlighters. But I actually watched Makeup by Treen's video on this highlighter, and because she did a full review of the whole collection, and she said basically the only thing that she was really thrilled about in it, and she doesn't always like say super negative things about, you know, Colourpop, because I totally understand that. She does love the brand as well, but she said basically you could take or leave most of the collection except for the eyeshadow palette. She said the only thing she was really crazy about was the eyeshadow palette. She said that she did not like the highlighter because it didn't look good and it barely showed up. And I was like, you know, maybe I'll like it. And I wanted to try it still because I was curious. But I don't know if I'm really that thrilled about it. But I always get excited when Colourpop does expand, you know, some of their collections, and I'm like, oh, we're finally getting highlighters for this collection, because like I wish that they would come out with blushes and highlighters for most of the collabs that they do, and sometimes they just do blushes or sometimes they just do highlighters. So this time they decided to do highlighters because in the first collection they did blushes, and I much prefer the blushes in the first collection than I do this highlighter. But I'm going to try this some more. Again, I've only tried it once, so I haven't really given it a fair shot yet. And then the other product is the Lip Duo. So this is the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Ultra Lip Duo in the shade Celestial Power. So the shades are an ultra blotted lip and a ultra glossy lip. The ultra blotted lip is Sailor Fuku and the gloss is Transformation. So this is what the packaging looks like. Really, really cute Sailor Moon packaging. I think it's really adorable. I love the caps. But again, it's just a nude shade. But I really just wanted this for the reflective blue gloss. But the nude shade is actually really, really nice. I really love these kind of colors. You know, a typical brownie, you know, nude shade is something that I'm going to wear a lot. And then the gloss is really, really pretty. And this one is called Transformation. I think I've only worn these together once. I'm trying to show you guys the gloss. Let me just put this back in the tube. So this is what the gloss looks like. You can't really see it. Okay, it's like right here. It reflects really beautiful in person. But I can't seem to pick it up on camera. Okay, it's right there. It's very reflective and it's very comfortable on the lips. So I really do like the gloss. But again, did I need another gloss? Hell fucking no. But did I pick it up? Yes, I did. And hopefully I'll be able to use it a bit more. So yeah, that's everything that I got from Colourpop from Ulta. And I do have one more product to share. I thought I had shared this in my last haul video, but I don't think that I did. So I ended up picking up something from Urban Decay. So this is the Urban Decay Vice Lip Bond Unbreakable Liquid Lip Color in the shade Safe Word. Now, do I still have it? I might still have this lipstick, but Urban Decay tends to... First off, here's the packaging. It's really, really cute. It's a little bit bulky, though. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to store this, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Urban Decay tends to release the same shade in different formulas. Like, they had the shade Safe Word in the Vice lipsticks, which I did have. I think I decluttered it, like, almost maybe 2 years ago at this point. But I was really curious about trying one of these. I haven't heard like the greatest reviews on them, but I really, really like it. It's super comfortable on the lips. There it is right there. And I think it's really nice. I've used it a couple of times, but I haven't used it for a little while because I literally could not find it. I didn't even realize it was on the bottom of this bag. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize that this was probably like one of the first products I picked up because I ended up getting this, exchanging that Tarte highlighter and the Bare Minerals like blush blusher or whatever it's called, you know, like the blush highlighters that people are obsessed with. I didn't even like that product. I tried it as a highlighter and I tried it as a blush and I didn't like it either way. So I ended up exchanging both of those products and I got this lipstick and I really, really like this. So, and it does dry down and it lasts a really decent amount of time. I might even like these more so than their original liquid lipsticks that everybody bashed like a while back. I think that these are really nice and I think that these are like their response product to those. And these are really good. So I really like them. Okay, let me just wipe these swatches off and then we'll go through the rest of the products. Okay, now let's go through the rest of the products. So I have 3 more products from Colourpop, and I just decided to order these. Even though I knew that these were going to be at Ulta, I decided to order them because I wanted to wait a little bit before I bought this because, you know, I had other palettes that I wanted to use. So I'm like, I'll order it and then I can use, you know, a few palettes that I want to use still. And then by the time it comes, then I'll be ready to use it. Sometimes I end up doing that. But also I had a feeling I was going to really like this palette anyway. So I decided to pick up the dupe to the Natasha Denona palette. And this is the Colourpop 1111 Pressed Powder palette. Yes, I ended up picking up another Colourpop palette in this video. Don't judge me. But I think that the packaging is so pretty. And at first I was like, they really released another neutral palette. But when you actually get this palette and use it, it is stunning. And I really, really like the color selection in here. I really like the matte selection in here because of this row. It has 4 deeper mattes. So you can build up as much depth and dimension as you want. And I find that that is just so much better for me and also for people that have like a deeper skin tone and all of that. But also I have not gotten bored with this palette. Every time I use it, I think it's beautiful. I always get like such a angelic, ethereal, beautiful, simple, neutral look. And I usually like cannot stop staring at my eyeshadow. Like even though it's a neutral look, I'm like, it's so freaking pretty. And I might even like the shimmers in this palette more so than the ones that were in the Natasha Denona palette. Even though she introduced yet another new formula of like a super sparkly eyeshadow, I prefer the shimmers in here, but I much prefer the shimmers that she introduced in the Yucca palette. Those shimmers are unreal. They're so beyond gorgeous that I was like, I don't need a nude. I just do not need a nude. But then when I saw this palette, I was like, oh, another neutral palette from Colourpop. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't really have that many neutral palettes from Colourpop. And I just thought this one was less shimmer heavy and more concentrated on the mattes. And I really, really like it. So we have 5 shimmers and 7 mattes. So we have Total Angel, Manifested, Good Thoughts, and Balance. Then we have Protection. I can't read it when it reflects in the light because it's gold writing. Major Change, Reflect, and Lucky Babe. And then the last row we have Perfect Harmony, Right Path, Empowered, and Divine. So yeah, I've been absolutely loving this palette. I almost wanted to use it again today, but I'm wearing a new eyeshadow palette on my eyes, of course. Another new eyeshadow palette. What is wrong with me? I don't know. But I'm going to swatch a couple of these for you guys, and I just really have been liking this palette quite a lot. So I'm just going to swatch some of the shimmers. They're just so pretty. I really want to use this shade again, but look at how reflective those are. So we have Reflective, Manifested, and Balance. So I have used, again, every single shade in this palette. I've only been able to go back to it again one more time, and the only other shade I've used more than once is the gold. But I would like to use it some more. So there are some of the shimmers. That swatch is really big for some reason, but look at how many different glitters are in that shadow. It's like gold and red and bronze, and then this is the gold and like the light pinkier shade. But it's just so pretty. And then I'm going to swatch just like 2 mattes for you guys. This shade is so beautiful. It's such a unique shade for Colourpop. Let's just do like the mid-tone shade so you guys can see like a dark and a light shade. So this one is Perfect Harmony and this one is Protection. Let me just build that one up a bit more. So that's what they look like. They look a little bit light here, but on the eyes, they build up, but they're still like light and ethereal. They're just so pretty. I've been absolutely loving this palette. And if you guys are looking for a simple neutral palette from Colourpop, I think that this is a great option. And again, you know, it's also way more affordable than getting the Natasha Denona palette. If you were balling on a budget and you want something a little bit cheaper but gives you the same vibes, I would totally go for this palette. If you have an Ulta near you, this is a great palette to get. Again, if you wanted the vibes of the Natasha Denona palette, I much prefer this one just because of this last row. I'm like, ooh, I can build up depth. I can put that on the defining area and put it on the outer corners, even use them in the crease. And I feel like I get a beautiful look every single time. And these shimmers are beautiful and light on the lids. I just have been absolutely loving this collection and loving this palette. I really thought I was going to skip over this. And then they were doing a promo where if you ordered this palette, you would get a brush set for $15. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna order it. So I actually picked up the brush set as well. And it's an eyeshadow brush set. This one is my inner corner highlight brush. This one does not come in this set. But I think it comes with these 6 brushes. And you get 2 crease brushes. You get a defining shade shading brush. You get 2 concealer kind of brushes. And you get a liner brush. So I thought that was great. And it also comes with its own holder too. So I've just been keeping it in the holder. And these are great brushes. I've been using them pretty much every single day. And I was like, you know what? I haven't tried a new brush set in quite a while. So I'm like, I'll get that too. And it was awesome to come that it was only $15. And then the last thing that I got from Colourpop is one of the blushes from the 11/11 collection as well. So this is the pressed powder blush in the shade Claim It, and I've used this blush I think at least 3 times already because it's such a good like neutral peachy blush. I love the packaging with the angel wings, and then this is what the blush looks like. It's like kind of more of a warm tone peachy nude, but I've worn it a couple of times with the palette, and it's just such a good blush shade for the palette. And I'm glad that I picked it up because it's a really, really nice one. And I always like use my Colourpop blushes quite a lot. So, yeah. So I just ended up picking this up as well because I needed one more thing to get the free shipping. And I was like, there was nothing else I really wanted to get from Colourpop because I have like everything that I could possibly need from Colourpop. But I was like, I want to get the blush. So I picked that up too. So I don't know if I shared this already, but I'll share this really quick. I also got an eyeliner from Ulta. I don't know. I really can't remember if I shared this or not, but this is the shade Can Do It, which is also from Colourpop, and it's just like a light yellow metallic shade. It's really pretty. It's kind of like a marigold shade. I've only used it once so far because as soon as I got this, it was like pretty much at the tail end of summer. And usually I only use like yellow shades during like summer when I do like yellow tone looks, or if I do like a warmer tone, like lighter look. So maybe we'll use that in the future, but I probably should have picked that up like later, like maybe next spring, not now. I don't know why I picked it up at the time. I think I needed to spend like $30 to get like a certain Ulta coupon. I really can't remember. Okay, let's move on from Colourpop, and we have a couple of indie brand eyeshadow palettes to share with you guys. So the first one, I have been dying to try this brand for the longest time, and I picked this up back during Labor Day because they had a Labor Day sale, I think for like 15 or 20% off. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to order it. And they had just restocked this palette because they actually redid the packaging on all of their palettes. And I was so obsessed with the packaging of this one. I'm like, I'm finally just going to get it. So I finally picked up a palette from Fanatsy Cosmetica. And this is the Druid palette. So this is the first palette that they ever came out with. Beautiful, beautiful packaging. And then this is what the back looks like. They are a video game inspired brand, so they basically make eyeshadow palettes based on video game characters like a druid. They have a warrior palette. They have a sorcerer palette, etc. So it does come with a plastic insert, and it does have a mirror as well. And then this is what the 9-pan eyeshadow palette looks like. Look at how freaking gorgeous this is. This palette is absolutely stunning. I can see why people love Fanatsy Cosmetica. The mattes are so buttery, soft, and smooth, and pigmented, and easy to blend. And the shimmers are absolutely stunning. They are so smooth on the lid and so easy to work with. And I love that they changed the inner packaging to this like leafy kind of graphic, and it just looks so beautiful. So I was like, you know what, I'm finally just gonna pick it up. I was like, if I need other mattes, I can just pull in like a brown matte or another like base matte into this palette, because I just really wanted to try the shimmers from this brand. So we have 9 shades, we have 4 mattes and 5 shimmers. So we have Root, Balance, Forest, Bare Form, Serenity, and Sage. And then the last row is Transformation, Regrowth, and Old Growth. So beautiful. I'm going to show you these shimmers. They are so gorgeous. Let's do these 3. Whoops. I'm touching my mouse too much. Look at that. Look at how reflective and beautiful those are. They're so pretty. I don't know why I swatched the eyeliner where I swatched it. That like totally messed me up, but let's just do it like this. Okay, so this shade is Balance. This shade is Serenity. And this shade is Transformation. Now, Transformation, do you see how it reflects like a duochrome, almost triochrome kind of shade? So basically, you could put that over like any shimmer that you use from the palette, and it's going to transform it to be like more like duochrome or more reflective, or more like reflect different colors. And then this shade Serenity is such a stunning like green. And then Balance is a stunning like bluish greenish, again almost duochrome kind of shade. And it's super, super sparkly. It's just so stunning. And then I will swatch a couple of the mattes. These are so pigmented. Like, look at that. Like, look at how opaque those are. It's insane. So there's some of the matte shades. So this one is Forest, and this one is Root. They are stunning. I have a first impressions get ready with me on this palette. I have a first impressions get ready with me on all of these palettes that I'm sharing with you guys. I was so impressed with the quality of this that I just didn't think that there was like a color story I necessarily was very drawn to until this palette came out. I wish that they did have like one more matte in here, but I kind of understand why these shimmers are in here because they're absolutely stunning. I'm not going to be somebody that like collects all of their palettes. I almost got the Warrior palette because that was the one that had the most neutral color story besides this one. But I just really loved the neutrals with the greens in this palette. And you guys know I've been loving green eyeshadow this year. I've been trying a lot of green eyeshadow looks this year. And I really do want to jump into this palette again. I've only been able to use all the shimmers once, but I have tested out every single shade for you guys, and I really do love it. So, fantastic quality. Highly recommend. Again, if you have the chance to try Fanatsy Cosmetica, I would not hesitate. Their formula is absolutely fantastic. Okay, last 2 brands, we have a couple of products from Odens Eye. So Odens Eye actually launched their first Halloween collection, and it was going to be another collaborator collection. And at first, before they revealed this collection, I thought it was going to be a couple of collaborators, and then I found out that I was with Angelica Nyquist. And at first, I was like, but they already collaborated with Angelica. Why don't they feature somebody different? And I'm not saying I don't love Angelica. You guys know she's one of my favorite YouTubers. I watch her videos pretty much daily. I almost watch every single video that she comes out with, unless it's something I'm like completely not interested in. But I pretty much watch every single video. So at first, when this collection was revealed, I was like, well, since I have her previous 2 palettes from Kaleidos and from Odens Eye. I'm like, I don't know if I really need these. But then I decided to get one of the eyeshadow palettes and 2 of the lip beads. Like, I got this and I got this. So, yeah, I picked up the Odens Eye and Angelic Nyquist Trick or Treat palette, and I also got both of the matte liquid lipsticks in the collection. So, I was actually really excited that they did more than just an eyeshadow palette and that they did come out with liquid lipsticks and a lip collection. I'm really happy that she decided to do more than just eyeshadow palettes. So she came out with the Little Ghost palette and also the Trick or Treat palette. And at first, when I saw the color stories of these, I was like, I really don't need these. But the more I watched tutorials on this palette and saw the color story more, I was like, this one is mine. I'm like, this one is definitely the one that I would use way more than the other one. So this one is the Trick or Treat palette. First off, look at this packaging. Odens Eye just kills it. Absolutely kills it with the art. Like, this is insane how, like, it's ugly beautiful, but it's so, like, it's so scary ugly, but then it's also so beautiful with how ugly it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, not ugly in a bad way, but like in a scary kind of way. But it looks fucking sick. I love it so much. And I love that, like, the packaging is, like, kind of raised, and I love the font. I love absolutely everything about it. The spooky jack-o'-lanterns. She looks like a scary queen. So this is what the inside looks like. It's the same as the outside, and then the back of the palette is just really pretty. It has actually her face on the back as well with the jack-o'-lanterns again. And then when you open it up, it does have a mirror, and we have some more graphics of like bats, and it's just so cool. And then this is the 16 pan eyeshadow palette. I really didn't think I was going to get another Odens Eye palette this year, but this is now my 3rd Odens Eye palette. I bought the Batty Bean and the Flora Story palette, and after I bought the Flora Story palette, I kind of took a break from Odens Eye. I didn't end up picking up the either one of the Jewels and Gem or Stone and Rock palettes. I just ended up not picking up either of these. I'm kind of glad that I held out to pick up their next collection. I had no idea what it was going to be, but I'm so glad they did a Halloween collection because I've never done a Halloween collection before. I've been talking too long, but I'm almost done. So we have 16 shades in this palette. So we have 7 shimmers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 mattes. So we have Mummy's Curse, Howl, Full Moon, Goblin, Wicked, Jack-o'-lantern, Deadly, Candy Apple, Poison, Witch's Brew, Trick or Treat, Vampire Fangs, and then the last row is Crypt Keeper, Cauldron, Cemetery, and Magic Potion. This palette is absolutely stunning. The quality is the same quality that I expect from Odens Eye. The mattes are not dry. They are super pigmented, but they're not super soft. They barely have any fallout whatsoever. The shimmers are a bit piecey. Like, some of the shimmers, I think the only one that was really piecey is this shade Crypt Keeper. So this one is probably the only one I would say you get a little bit of fallout from, just because it's kind of like almost like a very glittery pressed shimmer. The rest of them, though, were super easy to use, stunning on the eyes. And Odens Eye shimmers are just so bright and gorgeous on the eyes. You really don't see how beautiful they are until you apply them. So let's swatch a couple of these for you guys. My hands are getting a little bit, I could swatch all of these shimmers like all day, but let's swatch a couple of my favorites. I think that these are my 3 favorites. So we have Witch's Brew, Trick or Treat, and Magic Potion. So let's swatch those. I know a lot of people are raving about the shade Witch's Brew. So this one is Witch's Brew, this one is Trick or Treat, and this one is Magic Potion. I would say Trick or Treat and Magic Potion are my two favorite shimmers. Magic Potion is such a stunning mint shadow. I don't have anything like it in my collection. And Trick or Treat is just, let me just wipe my hands a little bit. I need another tissue because I have to swatch one more eyeshadow palette. And Trick or Treat is probably my favorite. It looks so stunning on the eyes because it has like burgundy, gold, silver reflex in it. And then Venom is just a really beautiful, almost lime green, super witchy, almost like literally the same color as like a liquid in a cauldron, like a bubbling cauldron. That's literally what this shade reminds me of. And then let's swatch some of the mattes. Let's do one of the reds. So this is the green, this is the orange, and this is the red. So we have Poison, Jack-o'-lantern, and Vampire Fangs. Is that the one I swatched? Maybe I swatched Cemetery. Yeah, I swatched Cemetery. I didn't swatch Vampire Fangs, sorry. Those two are very similar, so I get them confused. Yeah, I did swatch Cemetery. So this is what the mattes look like. So this one is Poison, this one is Jack-o'-lantern, and this one is Cemetery. So beautifully pigmented, such gorgeous eyeshadows. I've used every single shade in the palette. I just finished testing it out like a couple of days ago, and I absolutely love it. This is so beautiful, and I'm so glad I picked this up for Halloween. So yeah, I really, really love it, and I can't wait to use it some more this week. And hopefully a little bit more next week as well. Because after that, I'm probably not going to use it because Halloween will be over at that point. And then I need to finish this video. I've been talking like forever. I did pick up both liquid lipsticks. So this one is Swamp Fog and this one is Shadow Creature. And I just thought these colors were so beautiful. And also, I think even though she only had 5 lip products, first off, the yellow and purple ombre packaging is so pretty, and it says Odens Eye times Angelica. So this one is the shade Swamp Fog. This one is a beautiful, like yellowy tone, mustardy kind of brown. It's so, so pretty. And then the other shade is Shadow Creature, and this one is like a muted red brick brown, honestly. Again, has the same packaging. And I just didn't pick up any of the glosses because, again, I don't need another gloss. Like, I really, really don't. So this one is Shadow Creature. I love the variation of size in these two swatches. But really, honestly, she did such an amazing job on the shade range of the lippies and also of the eyeshadow palettes. I think that she made both of the palettes very, very inclusive. Almost every skin tone can use those shades. And they will show up probably just as vibrant on someone that's super dark as compared to someone super light like me. And also with the lip shades, I think that these are fantastic colors for such a wide variety of skin tones. They're bold on me, and I think they're going to be bold on someone darker than me as well. And then the same thing with the lip glosses. I think she did such a great range of shades. And I'm glad that she actually thinks about that when it comes to versatility and inclusivity in a collaboration. So I think she did a fantastic job. That's why I love her. So and then the last thing I picked up from Odens Eye so I could get free shipping, but also I was kind of dying to get another one of these highlighters because Odens Eye's highlighters are so ridiculously beautiful. So I decided to get another one of the, because I only have one of them. This is the Soulmate 2 Moonlight Feel highlighter in the shade, what is the shade? It doesn't say the shade on the front, but I have to use scissors to open this because for some reason they made this packaging always super hard to open. I literally just took this off, just ripped it off. And usually I save the packaging for most of these things, but it's alright, it doesn't really matter. So this is what the packaging looks like. You guys have seen this before because this is from the Soulmate 2 collection, and this is what this highlighter looks like. So this one is the shade Pink Star. Look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? The reason why I love these is because they're like multi-chrome highlighters. So this one is the shade Pink Star. So I'm going to swatch it over here. And when I tell ya, like, this is like the pigmentation I was hoping for from the Colourpop highlighter. Not like this intense, but you know, a little bit more pigmented. This is absolutely freaking stunning. It reflects like green to pink to purple. It's so beyond beautiful. I wore this one to Comic-Con and the intensity lasted like all day. So I'm freaking obsessed with this. It's so beautiful. So that's everything that I got from Odens Eye. And then the last eyeshadow palette in this video, I picked this up. Out of all the eyeshadow palettes that have been coming out lately, I decided to get this one. I just thought this one was so pretty, and they actually did end up selling out, and they're on pre-order right now. I was like, I had a feeling that this palette was going to sell out because Glaminatrix Cosmetics Nearly Natural palette did so ridiculously well for them that they are super smart with coming out with another neutral leaning kind of eyeshadow palette. So I picked up the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Rich Romantic palette, and this just came for me in the mail a couple of days ago, like on Saturday. First off, packaging is gorgeous. Love the rose silver design on the outside of the packaging, and then the inside packaging is this beautiful like kind of faux leather feeling. And it just feels luxurious, like the rich romantic kind of vibe to it. And then this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. Isn't this not a Caitlyn palette? Like, seriously. This screams my name. So we have 8 mattes and 7 shimmers. And these shimmers are absolutely insane. They are so beyond beautiful. I've only used the palette today and yesterday. So this is the palette on my eyes today. So we have Admire, Romantic, Intoxicating, Captivating, and Timeless. Then we have Charming, Seductive, Rich, Magnetic, and Allure. This row of shimmers. So stunning. And then we have an entire row of mattes. I really love the layout of it. And then the last row is Lover, Devotion, Cherish, Intimate, and Passion. So I think I've used most of the mattes already. The only 3 mattes I haven't used yet are these 2 and the pink. So let's go ahead and swatch some of them. So far, the formula has been beautiful. The same Glaminatrix formula that I'm used to. But these shades are so beautiful. Look at these shimmers. Like, insanely gorgeous. So this one is Rich. This one is Magnetic, and this one is Charming. So stunning. Honestly, it doesn't really matter where you swatch them because they're going to be ridiculously reflective no matter where you swatch them. So this one is Rich, this one is Magnetic, and this one is Charming. Really, really beautiful, super multi-dimensional. Reflects such gorgeous colors. This one's like a pinky green gold. This one's like a purple, black-based pinky purple shimmer. And this one is like a peachy orangey green. Red. Like, it's so freaking stunning. Like, I can't even pick it up on camera, but I'm literally dying to use the rest of the shades. And then we'll swatch a couple of the mattes. Let's do these 3 shades. I'll just swatch them here. I don't have to swatch them on my hand. So this one is Intimate. This one is Admire. And this one is Lover. Really pigmented. Super, super buttery smooth. I think that these mattes are even more pigmented than the ones that were in the Nearly Natural palette. And they're really, really nice, easy to work with. And I think that this palette is stunning. They did also downgrade the size of the palettes. But I actually prefer smaller palettes for me because they kept it at pretty much the same price range. But these shimmers are so multi-dimensional. So it doesn't really bother me that they downgraded the size, but put more multi-dimensional shimmers in the palette because I will pay the same amount because they're even more multi-dimensional than the shimmers in the Nearly Natural palette. So that is all the makeup. And then the very last thing is just one thing that I got from Target. I picked up this CeraVe makeup removing cleanser balm, and I've been wanting to get something to remove my makeup before I use my face cleanser, because I've just been using my face cleanser for a while because I was having a lot of allergic reactions to certain skincare. So I actually got my patch test last month to find out what I was actually allergic to and what actual allergic disease that I actually have. And I think it's called contact dermatitis, which is a very common disease for allergic reactions. I don't know if you call it disease, but that's what I was diagnosed with. So I saw that this was on the list. I wanted to get an oil, but for some reason I could not find a cleansing oil on the list. So I was like, I'll just get this because I love CeraVe, and this is like a newer product from them. So I picked this up. I absolutely love this. It's so gentle and smooth on the skin, and I've been using it every night to take off my makeup before I cleanse my face. So yeah, that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And I also picked up more Simply micellar wipes because I needed those too. Simple micellar wipes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. Let me know if you guys are interested in any of these products. Again, I have first impressions on every single palette. If you want to see them in action, let me know. They're already up on my channel. The Glaminatrix first impressions will be up right after this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.